We'll just do a quick voice check, and we'll be ready to go.
Motherfucker! Challenge you to a rock off. Dude, they got full size Mike and Meeks? Max got a Pikachu? No, you don't go inside.
Well, haven't Max got a Pikachu, you said?
Yeah, we went and ate at McDonald's after trick or treating. Nice, dude, I was all over town. It sucked.
Yeah, Seth texted me. You got a full Snickers bar.
Yeah, he took Allie's too.
Oh, really?
No.
That's what's up. She probably wouldn't be able to eat it all anyway.
Allie doesn't like Snickers.
What?
She likes peanut butter cups.
That's not cool, Allie.
Kevin! What are you doing, bud?
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. All right, we're good. We are Gucci. What's your favorite movie? Yo, what it do, GG Nation, GG Legion. It's your fella again, Ghostface, the GG. And welcome to another episode of Golden Guy and Friends, episode 37, Halloween special, 2019, third year in a row we've done this. But hey, I can't wear that for long, it is too hot. It is too hot. So we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to talk about our favorite horror movies, series, video games, anime, everything. Our favorite horror things. Happy Halloween to everybody. I hope everybody got lots of candy. If you're out partying, be safe, be responsible. Don't drive home drunk. Yo, what's up? What's up, Joshy? How you doing, brother? But I'm going to give JJ the floor. I'm pretty sure I know what he's going to start out with, but go ahead. Some of your what do you want to start with? Your favorite Halloween? Goodness, movie, video game, whatever you want to start out with.
Growing up, I never played the horror genre games. Really, I'd have to say
you played them more recently than anything.
Yeah, I'd have to say RE7 and RE2 remake are probably the two that are up there.
Yeah.
I love the I know some people don't like it, but I love the RE7 remake, especially the first like 2/3 of it.
You mean RE7, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, RE7.
You're fine. You're good. Go ahead.
I got a lot of shit going on right now, but the RE7 game, it's the first like 3/4 of that scared the piss out of me.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched
especially
JJ play it a lot.
VR.
I'm a huge RE head. RE7. They changed a lot. They changed a lot of it. They went, they threw. I think a lot of it had to do with VR, and plus, like a year before that, there was this thing called Playable Teaser GT that had Hideo Kojima, Norman Reedus, and Guillermo del Toro attached to it, and was Silent Hills, and it was a first-person playable demo, which was absolutely one of the greatest horror experiences of all time. If you have Konami took it down, so if you have a PlayStation that has it sells for like $3,000 right now. Like, it sells for a lot. It's an absolutely amazing game. They should re-release it. Konami needs to get some goodwill back. But I think a lot of that had to do with VR, and I think a lot of it had to do with that playable teaser in general. But it is a fantastic RE experience and horror experience in general. And it started with that. Capcom started with RE7 to get back on track with, then, Mega Man came back, then RE2 Remake, and then Devil May Cry 5. The RE engine began with that game, and it was fantastic. I remember JJ, every time I would sign on, he would do a share play. The only time he ever shared play, really, with me was RE7 to finish it. But he let me play a little bit of it, and it is a fantastic experience.
And you played the shitty part of it.
Yeah. Well, I saw some of the fun parts when you were chasing old lady Jenkins around and stuff. That was incredible. And I played the demo. I loved the demo.
Yeah.
When the demo came out, everybody was like, what the hell was this thing?
Yep.
And it ended up being Resident Evil 7. Welcome to the family, son. Right in the face.
Yeah.
Right in the face.
You're right about PT. I didn't get to play it, but I watched a couple of
Did you
people play
finally
it on
watch
YouTube.
it?
No, I watched a lot of people play it on YouTube probably a couple years ago,
Oh my god, it's
and
incredible.
it's insanely scary. That game is fucking creepy.
I beat
It
it
looks
7 times, but when I got my Astro 850 headsets, I never played it again. And I fudged up. I forgot to re-download it, but I heard there might be a way because I have the data on there. I heard I
Yeah,
might be able to put it back on. So if I find out if I can, we'll do that and we'll do a live stream of it. I think it'll be really fun.
that game is fucking creepy.
Oh man,
But
it's
those are
incredible,
the
and it's just sad to see what Konami has gone through. But in less than a week, we're gonna see those three back again: Guillermo, Norman Reedus, and Hideo Kojima in Death Stranding. So that game will have a
yeah.
little bit of horror influence. Obviously, I think a
Yep.
lot of you started following me because of this game, and that is Bloodborne. Absolutely a masterpiece of horror, gothic horror. It is probably one of the most difficult games you could play, but hey, you can play with your buddy. We were going to play this for Spooktober. I appreciate everybody that has come out and watched me on Twitch for Spooktober. We're really close to that sub button and monetization over there, so I really appreciate that. We've been playing a different game every day pretty much. I was supposed to play this, but Eric, he has a really terrible sleeping schedule, so he's been waking up super late lately. So as soon as he's ready to play this, we'll be popping back onto this. I platinum this game. You guys see me beat it a bajillion times. Absolutely love Bloodborne. To this day, the best Miyazaki game. And it's really, really strange 4 years later that we do not have a sequel to this game. So hopefully my prediction comes true and we'll see that in PS5 as a launch title. But that, obviously, I think I had to start with that. I think a lot of people know me, Nickelodeon, Zyla, everybody, a lot of you guys followed me because of Bloodborne. And of course, Spooktober is nothing without Bloodborne. It's absolutely one of the most masterful PS4 exclusives ever made. Focus, camera. Focus. All right, go ahead, JJ. Your next one.
I saw some. I have it, but Outlast. I know we get Outlast 2
I
next
saw
week.
that. We get Outlast 2 next month. That's pretty good.
And Neo next week, on Tuesday. But
Another,
I never
played
those.
with Neo.
Yeah, I never played those Outlast games, but I watched videos on them. Those are scary. What would you say? Would you consider Last of Us? Is that more of a? Would you consider that in the?
You mean this game that won 200 Game of the Year awards, but not the Game of the Year Jeff Keighley Award?
Would you consider that in the realm of horror?
Absolutely. I think it is a horror game. Interesting question. I asked Eric, Dan's older brother, Dan the man, who was going to play some Bloodborne with me. We played some RE together, too. We played some RE 5 and 6 on stream. As you guys saw, we were punching boulders and stuff. But in every bit of the vein, it is. It is a survival horror game. You don't have a lot of ammo. You die really easily. The clickers is a brilliant invention of horror. Of this parasite fungus that eats your face away. Absolutely amazing experience. But yeah, I would consider it horror. But it's probably a lot of people probably want it because the story is so masterful, because it's so emotional. But in every sense of the term, yeah, it's a horror game. Go ahead. Oh, I think you froze up on me.
Yeah,
just switch the camera and
that's a great fucking game, Last of Us. I'm glad I finally played that.
Yeah, JJ was pretty late to last, so that's probably the best horror game you probably played, is Last of Us.
It's one of those.
Yeah, you're breaking up there a little. There you go.
Dope. That game's dope.
I'm really ready for the second one, but unfortunately now we gotta wait even longer now. The second one got pushed back to May, I think, right? Kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it is a big bummer. But Last of Us is that I'm excited for Last of Us too. I know I have a buddy at work who's really, 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 really stoked for Death Stranding.
Yeah, a lot of people I think are like, "What the hell is going on with that game?" Do not watch the launch trailer. By the way, spoils so
No,
many things. Do not watch the launch trailer.
if you're
Because
gonna watch spoilers, you're gonna watch them on the GG network
that's
when
right,
Levi
the
live
GG
streams it.
Network, baby. Last of Us, absolute masterpiece, masterful story. I really thought about number two because number two is going to be really sad because this innocent 12-year-old little girl that was full of life in this first game is going to be a crazy driven revenge psychopath in a lot of ways in the
Can we
next
just call
game.
her? She's a serial killer. Is what
Yeah,
we're gonna
like
call her.
in every sense of the word. Like Ellie, if you ever played Last of Us, and we need to play it before the second one comes out, we'll do a full playthrough for sure. Um, she's
Hell
so
yeah, you
full of
do.
life in this shitty world they live in. She's so full of life, cheery. You know, she writes in her journal all the time. She's cracking jokes. She's having a great time. Now to see her go on this path is going to be really heartbreaking, and it's gonna. This first game is about love, and Neil Druckmann said the second game's about hate, and that is the perfect word for the second game is hate. It's about hate and destruction. Like it's absolutely the original was a masterpiece. Lost to Grand Theft Auto, and the reason why we talking about Game of the Year awards because it's coming up soon. We're gonna see some nominees really soon, and we can't wait to go through them. We'll do another podcast. We'll get everybody for that one. We'll read each one. Um, we'll go to each category and we'll pick which one we want to win and which one we think is going to win. That's what we did last year. Really, really fun. I'm excited to see. Thank you guys for watching our Joker spoiler cast and our Borderlands 3 spoiler cast and my recent Persona 5 Scramble reaction video. Thank you guys so much. I know I've been slacking a little bit here on YouTube. I've been grinding Twitch a lot. That's what happened. So the next one I will go with is I'm going to stay in what you already talked about already. We just played this for Spooktober. We didn't beat it yet. We're still gonna play them, but RE5 and 6. I know, not the greatest REs ever. I know they're not really RE. They're not really horror. Too much ammo. Too much punching boulders. Too much pile driving zombies and German suplexing zombies. I know that's not RE. But absolutely two really fun games. Great co-op experiences. I have a lot of fond memories with this. I platinum these games on PS3. Still working on I'm four each game. I'm about 4 trophies away from platinuming it on PS4. Working on that as it goes. As you guys know, there's so many things coming out. There's so many games to play. We had a pretty hectic
Luigi's
September with all the
Mansion.
games that came out there. October has been really a lot of fun. We've been playing a lot of different games. Friday 13th, Dead by Daylight, but these two games, I think, yes, I understand. Ironically, this game was the best-selling Capcom game out of their whole history until last year when Monster Hunter World was RE5. So
Really?
really crazy. I know in the
Wow.
hardcore community, I'm with you guys. It's really not horror, but hey, they always whore out Leon and Chris as much as possible when they can. Going back to you, JJ. Your turn. Your turn.
What else have I played lately?
You can do
I
video
haven't
game.
really
You can do
played.
movies. Anything. TV.
I'll go back to RE7 a little bit
Okay.
to talk about VR. It is. I was terrified. I could only play it for and I'm
that
kind
game
of
in VR would be a horrific experience.
when you're. All right, if you haven't played RE7 yet, I'll give you 5 seconds. I'm going to spoil a little bit. Okay. So
by the way, you guys know this on the channel. JJ spoils shit, so that's on you.
Well, this one I've never done a spoiler cast on, so I don't.
Yeah, we never did a spoiler cast on that.
So if I've done a spoiler cast on something and you watch our videos consistently, you're fucked. I'm sorry, but so when you're sitting in the table with the whole family.
Oh yeah.
And there's just that creepy grandma sitting there. I won't spoil anything about anything story wise, but you just when you turn your head and you just stare at the grandma and she's lifeless, nothing goes on with her. You just sit there and stare at her. Oh god, it's so creepy. And the food on you're right next to the food on the table. It's so
I think
yeah,
first person VR is some of the best things you can do, I think.
Yeah. I think that that's more of a genre I want to get to is the VR horror. I think it immerses you more. Makes it
JJ, you're getting
definitely.
older. You can't have heart attacks now, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm shocked
I
Outlast
got like
isn't in VR. I figured that would be in VR.
yeah. Yeah, I know. That seems like a good one. I know they put Borderlands 2 on there, so maybe they will put
Yeah.
retro.
Well,
But
that game is perfect for VR because you have your camera and it has a battery, so you got to keep looking for batteries. It's completely dark. It's a really well done horror game. Very fun horror game. Like I heard 2 wasn't as good. I heard 2 is kind of a letdown in a lot of ways. Which to be fair, most sequels are. It's very rare that you get to this territory 5 or 6, 7 sequels,
yeah,
8 sequels.
the longer a series goes on, the more unlike the series. You got to reinvent yourself. So that's why 5 and 6 feel different than 2.
Yeah, and when
1, 2, 3.
when 5 came out and it was sold the best, like I said, this was the best selling out of everything: Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Mega Man, all their legendary properties. RE5 was their best selling game of all time until last year Monster Hunter World beat it. So
That's crazy.
you can't blame them for 6 because they looked at the stats, they saw the millions and millions. They're like, okay, all right, do that, but do 4 campaigns, super ass long, 8 people co-op, boom, just keep it going. So many people can play this game. Bigger, badder explosions, German suplexes, elbow drops, rock bottoms.
Where's the Expendables?
What happened?
They didn't put the Expendables in that game?
I mean, it essentially was. Like, if you ever play this, and you guys saw on stream, it's even when because Eric got into RE very late too. He started with 5, and he started playing with 6. We were playing 6 on stream, and he's like, "Holy shit, this game's long." I'm like, there's about 5 chapters. There's 5 chapters in each campaign. There's 4 campaigns. Each chapter takes about an hour and a half. Think about that. How long that is. This is the longest RE by imaginable, and there's so many things going on. There's 4 stories interweaving together. Like it's fun. Yeah. I talk about it. It's a 3-layer cake, and then Ada's campaign is icing on the top. And most people cannot get through the cake. They can never get to the icing, and it's really tough. And I don't blame them. It's not hard to play. It's actually pretty easy to play, but if you're looking for a great horror experience, you should probably play some of the other things we suggested: RE7, RE2 Remake, Bloodborne, Last of Us. I think those are better options for sure.
I think Outlast 1, there's a lot of PC games that are fun.
Yeah, there's Blair Witch.
There's one that I wanted. It's the reason I would get a PC, but it's called what's it called? Not Deception.
What's it called?
Where you and your buddies try to trick each other into thinking who you're frozen on me.
Yeah, you're breaking up big time. You okay? You there?
Game.
You there? Internet, it's cold over there, guys. Internet might be going out over there.
Well, is it? Can you see me now?
Yeah, I see you. You're good.
Yeah.
What was it called?
But Deceit.
Oh, Descent.
Deceit, not Descent.
Oh, okay.
That's a phone doing.
Go to bed.
Good night, Cuzos.
Beats my ass. But yeah, Deceit. So it's basically 2 people are monsters, 4 people are humans. You gotta try to figure out who the monsters are before they kill you.
Oh, okay. So a little bit like Dead by Daylight, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That sounds pretty dope. I haven't heard of that one. I haven't heard of that one. I gotta check that out.
I think it's only on PC. So it's a game I wish would come over to console. I'm
sure they do. The thing about PC games, they take forever to come over to console.
Yeah. Yeah, and vice versa, it seems like, because Death Stranding's not coming till
yeah, PC not till for a year.
Yeah. So
I think we might see that game PS5. It's possible. One, two I want to talk about really quick is a lot of them we played on stream were Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th. They were a fantastic game, 4 versus 1. You faced the big giant monster. Well, with Friday the 13th, there's like 8, it's like 6 versus 1 or something. There's like 6 versus 1. I like that one a little bit better. But we've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight in stream. They have all the horror icons. They got Leatherface. They got Freddy. They got Michael Myers. They just put the Demogorgon for Stranger Things. Very fun games to play. Super fun. I think with Dead by Daylight, the only thing I don't like is I think the killer's still way too powerful. Like, it's just way too OP.
It's tough. It's tough. Like, I feel like Friday the 13th, it's hard to be the killer. It's hard to be Jason.
Yeah, you get hit way too much, I think.
Yeah, Jason. Where I think that people are too OP in that where they can balance it. But Dead by Daylight, the killer is just too OP, man.
It's Michael Myers and Ghostface have like instant down kills. Like they just boom, like hit you instantly.
And Ghostface is a human.
I know, he has all these magical powers, man.
Yeah, it's a human.
Except for me, I'm the golden one or the red one.
Yeah, you're the Red Ranger.
One. Those were really well done, really well made games. Graphically, Dead by Daylight could be way better. Same thing with Friday the 13th. I think I would give the graphics a little bit better to Friday the 13th. Both have their jank to the game, and I have a prediction. I think the next killer will be at the Game Awards as usual, and it's gonna be Hellraiser. It'll be Hellraiser. So.
Ooh, I like that.
We need Pinhead. I keep calling him Pinhead. We need Pinhead.
I'm gonna go with.
All right, you got another game, or you can go on to movies.
I can't even. Let's talk Stranger Things, man. That's series.
Yeah, I would call that 80s horror.
That series is fantastic. I know season 2 is not as good as 3 and 1, but it's a fantastic series. You haven't seen it.
Yeah, only because they wanted to add some more building, and I agree. Season 2, after rewatching them. I would say 2 is the weakest one for sure.
Yeah.
I would go 3, 1, 2. That's why I got. We did a Stranger Things spoiler cast. Yeah. You guys can check it out. But JJ's right, absolutely fun. It's super popular. Like we said, the Demogorgon, Nancy, and Steve Harrington are all in Dead by Daylight. Scoops ahoy! Scoop troop!
Scoop troop, baby. Turn around and look at what you see.
Absolutely, season 3 is great. Cannot wait for season 4.
Yeah,
so many memorable characters. Love Hopper. Love Dustin and Steve's relationship. You end up hating Steve originally in the first season, but you end up loving him.
The typical jock douchebag.
Yeah, he was the prototypical jock douchebag for sure. But what a memorable cast of characters, and those kids are getting roles everywhere. They're in movies like crazy now.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Finn Wolfhard is getting a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Steve's in a new movie.
Season 1, he got a lot of praise. Him and Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
But season 2 and 3, he's kind of pushed back in the background a little bit. You don't see him as much.
Steve and I can't think of his name. Dustin. Yeah, Steve and Dustin are the best. Man, their chemistry is awesome. And then they had the girl in there. I can't think of her name either.
Robin.
Yeah, when the Robin joins the crew. Oh.
Well done. I'm excited to see outside of Hawkins, Indiana, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, it's always funny to me. Every horror movie, every horror thing always is like this huge demonic thing is always centraled in this really tiny town in the Midwest.
They play on all those tropes too. But it's just really well acted and written. I think that's why it's such a special show. When you find people who truly, truly love something, they tend to take really good care of it. And those what are they, the Duff Brothers or whatever they are? The Duffer Brothers, yep.
Yeah, they truly love that 80s.
80s nostalgia's in right now too. Like it's
stylistic
what it's all
stuff.
about.
The 80s pop culture in those movies.
You think we're ever gonna do 90s?
It was 90s. I was listening to 90s music today, if that makes you feel any better.
The music, 90s music is great, but I was watching the Scream. I watched all the Screams besides 4 because it's not on Netflix anymore. I watched all the Screams, and I'm looking at some of these 90 outfits and like, oh my god, these are terrible. They're ugly.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not great.
Honestly, we already had in this 90s already because we had the mini Super Nintendo and mini Sega and all the classic consoles.
I mean, if you're leading into it, Scream is my all-time favorite horror movie.
To be honest, I'm shocked you didn't start with
it. And to be completely honest with you, the fourth one is the second best one.
I heard that too. I asked Steve, but Steve did the same thing. He went he went 1, 4, 2, 3. 3 was terrible.
3 is terrible. They tried to in 3 they try to retcon everything where they not retcon but Billy and Stu killed because of Sydney's brother forced them to. They killed her mom because her mom was a big slut in Hollywood, fucking everybody, and it just didn't work.
They tried to. It's Wes Craven, and he's trying to do parody after parody on top of parody.
Yeah, it's
like the Stab series is a parody on the Scream series,
it's a series that never took itself seriously, which obviously it's a parody of the horror. I mean, they took the biggest star in the whole franchise. She's the first person to die.
Yeah, it definitely plays on those tropes too of high school, like 35-year-olds playing high schoolers.
Absolutely, and I just, I think the fourth one is the second best. I like the fourth one a lot.
You ever see the TV series?
Yes, I watched the first. I've actually seen every season now.
All the seasons are on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen every season. The first one's all. Second one's not good. The third one's not good. I don't think I liked the fourth one either. The fourth one, they went a completely opposite direction. There's a decent twist, but
I think that's also the problem with the sequels. The twists aren't as good, and they're not as memorable or powerful than the first movie. The first movie, I agree. I think it still holds up. Ironically, it's not as violent as I remember as a kid. And I thought there was boobies in it, but there's no boobies in it.
No, we watched the first one last week, last Saturday.
I watched it like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it still holds up to me. The girl panicking, where what's your favorite scary movie? What's the name of the killer in the Friday the 13th movie?
Yeah, like Ghostface is an iconic character.
It's Jason. It is. And Stu and Billy, Billy is just a complete psychopath. Looking to that character is great. He
deflowered Cindy though.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy is great in that series.
He looks so young there too. Jamie Kennedy looks super young. He don't even have his perfect teeth yet.
Yeah. So Scream is the best. I like the new Halloween movie was all right.
Yeah, I enjoyed 2 sequels.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I would say the original John Carpenter first movie. So yeah, because this newest one retconned all the other ones, right? It's a sequel to the first. So
yeah, that's what that movie was like the first to do it. Now like all these other movies are doing it. Terminator's doing it and all that.
Yeah, everything's getting retconned but actually not supposed to be a Michael Myers story. That's why they had the season of the witch was a completely different.
Well, yeah, they wanted to go in a completely different direction with Halloween 3. Yeah.
Every movie was supposed to be a different take.
It's
and that's the same thing with the Jason Voorhees character. It wasn't supposed to have a sequel, so they had to figure out who to make the killer. And
the twist is great in the first
where did Jason go? Where did he? Oh yeah. Yeah, Kevin Bacon's death was awesome. Through the bed. Oh, that was.
I would actually argue that the older '80s movies were more violent than Scream for sure.
Oh yeah, Scream wasn't. I mean,
Scream out of of all the three I've watched, Scream 1 definitely is the most goriest for sure. There's some guts and stuff.
That that Drew Barrymore, that initial kill is still that one's iconic. I do one of my favorite ones is in the beginning of the second one with Omar Epps when he here's the guy giggling in the next stall.
Yeah, yeah.
Goes and then just right through the ear. Then his wife's up on stage or his girlfriend's up on stage. But Scream is great. A movie that I don't know which Nightmare on Elm Street it was, but one of those gave me night. I didn't sleep for a whole day because of.
It's probably the first one because the first one's the best one.
It's the one. I remember the water bed. It was whatever one with the water
Johnny
bed.
Depp kill.
It's the one with where they pull him into the that's the one I remember the most. Where I couldn't lay in my bed. And then my cousin Eric had a water, and I wouldn't go over to his house. I'm like, fuck that. But yeah, that's probably the only supernatural one that's because Scream terrified me because it could be real.
Yeah, for sure. People could do that. People could be assholes.
It's a normal. You get a psychopath, normal guy. Another. If anybody else is interested in true crime, there's this podcast I listen to called Last Podcast on the Left. If you want to learn anything about serial killers, aliens, cults, it's the way to go. I listen to that every day.
The first Scream, what it did well is go ahead.
Well, I'm secret. I like serial killers and the way they tick and stuff. And what I've learned is there's no way of knowing.
You never know. When somebody's crazy, they're just all crazy, man.
They're just all psychopaths.
But what did the first Scream do well? Scream 1 did really well as well, where the others fail, is it does a great job with misdirection. It keeps pointing at signs like, oh, that's the killer. He's the killer. Oh, no, that's the killer. It does a great job with misdirection. With the second and third one, they fail at that a lot because you're like, eh.
Well, the first one kind of gave you their motivations weren't necessarily like, but like the first thing you think is it's Billy. It has to be Billy, and then it somehow gets it away from Billy.
Yeah,
When it was there the whole time, you're like, it's got to be Billy, and then they definitely get you off of his trail.
Yep.
Yeah, but he is a true psychopath who lured Stu into it, who was kind of, but God, I can't think of that actor's name, but he's great. Shaggy. He does a great job when they're stabbing each other. You think it went a little deep there. But that's I love that movie. But yeah, they do misdirect you. The second one I kind of get the chick from Roseanne's, Billy was her son. He killed him, but I don't, the thrown into it. The voice changing thing was fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Just mimic I don't like anybody. Because that was my favorite thing about Scream too, is it made you think. I mean, we were young when it came out. What was that, 96?
Scream.
So we were like
Scream 2 was 96.
We had no business watching that movie, but I remember watching like 7 times. I went to the second one.
To be honest with you, I only saw Scream 1. I didn't see 2 and 3 until not recently, like a couple days ago. Literally. Yeah. Because I heard the sequels weren't good. I heard the sequels were bad. And then I watched them, and I'm like, yeah, they are.
For my 10th birthday. I think it was my 10th birthday. Yeah. So the same age Seth turns next week on Monday. For my 10th birthday, we went to the theater and saw Scream 2.
Yeah.
Me, Mom, Robin, and Haley. And Haley and Mom had to sit in a different area.
Yeah.
And the guy in the theater wore a ghost face costume, sat right next to her, freaked her out. It was awesome.
I think I was 7 or 8 when I wore this costume. This ghost face costume. So yeah, it's been around for a long time. Like a very long series.
I was too little to see it, but it was.
I'm gonna go back to video games really quick, and then we're gonna bop back. I want to talk about this series. The father of Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami himself. He made RE1, RE2, RE4, which is Game of the Year. It won that year. Dino Crisis. Some of the best horror experiences and he made these two games, and he's making a newer game called Ghostwire Tokyo. But Evil Within 1 and 2 have that RE4 special formula. It really kind of brought horror back a lot. I really like 1 way better. I'm playing through 2 right now, trying to make Chad happy and finish it. And I'm not liking 2 as much as I like first one. 2, I would kind of describe a lot kind of like Stranger Things, as STEM is kind of like the upside down world. It's a different world, and you can project different thoughts and stuff into it, and you can go into people's memory. I don't like 2. The reason why I don't like 2 as much as the first one was really hard. It was really, really hard. Well, the second one is kind of way too easy, and I'm playing on veteran difficulty. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty you can right now. And honestly, you can just really kind of sneak up to the monsters and stab them in the neck, and it's not catching the vibe for me, because it's kind of unfortunate, because I was playing RE2 last not last year, but a few months ago when RE2 came out, and that game just hits every single note of Shinji Mikami, but better. And I'm interested to see what he does next for Ghostwire Tokyo, but I want to give a shout out to Evil Within 1 and 2. Probably will never get a third one. But man, I do like the first game better. Great, interesting twist. Incredible hard difficulty. Very survival horror. Where 2 is not so much survival horror, I would say. It's more kind of on the. It has horror in it for sure. It is scary, but not like 1. I think 1 is the challenge I like greater than 1. But I want to give a shout out for those 2. I think those two games are fantastic. All right, back to you, man.
I don't know, man. I don't. You're more of the horror video game expert.
Well, you don't have to do video games. You can do another movie, whatever. There's a lot of great horror movies. Well, talk about stupid, shitty horror movies you're watching on Netflix. Did you watch any stupid, shitty horror movies on Netflix?
No, I don't usually get into. I don't usually watch a lot of the B. I know what is that? Dale and Tucker.
That movie is absolutely incredible. You should watch it. It's super funny.
Dale and Tucker versus Evil is great. We're there. I won't spoil anything, but it is a great movie.
Well, let's talk about it a little bit, because I want to talk about it. Because Dale
versus Tucker, what it
is, it's kind of misdirection as well. It's these college kids blame these 2 hillbilly-looking guys for everything, and they think they're the killers. Well, all these stupid kids keep killing themselves, and it's hilariously fun. And it's really well done, really well written, really well acted. Very funny movie. The misdirection's great in everything, in every sense of the word. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of college kids accidentally killing themselves while they think that these 2 decent human beings are killed.
Yeah, they're just 2 guys working, bought a cabin,
hillbillies. But I love the.
As you saw a sneak peek of JJ's PS4 Pro right there.
Ooh, yeah, it's pretty nice.
That's Spider-Man PS4. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah, got the old school fucking brick PS3.
Yeah, the brick one. Yeah, mine died on me.
And then I got the little slim PS2.
I need to get one of those. I still have the fat PS2.
And there's also my Aloy.
What up, Aloy?
Yeah, that one's good. The last... I watched Us recently.
Is that the Jordan Peele movie?
That's his second one, yeah. It's that's got a nice, that's got a nice little twist to it too. I recommend watching that if you haven't watched it, but that's got a nice twist.
I heard Get Out was better.
Get Out is better, I think. There's more. I think when I go to the movies, I just kind of want to enjoy stuff. There's a lot of social commentary in both Get Out and Us, but
yeah, there is. There's some PC in it.
But Get Out is great. The twist in Get Out, I mean, there are little twists, and I think that's what helps me with the horror genre. Is you don't necessarily have to have it to, there's not a lot of,
Yeah.
Michael
to be honest,
Myers
a lot of the horror stuff I like is the exploitation films, the shitty films, sex and titties and stupid college kids. Like,
I watch another YouTube channel with the kill counts, and there's a lot of good B horror movies. You know, there's a weird one on Netflix. Fudge, I forgot what it's called. It's like this killer clown that just doesn't speak the whole time, just kills people.
I know who you're talking about. Stitches
And he
or
rides.
something.
Yeah, something crazy like that. That movie's freaking weird. Another series that isn't great but had some iconic kills is the Final Destination series. That first one I thought was
Weren't they
pretty
bringing
good.
that back?
They did recently. I don't know. 2014, I think, might have been the last one.
Well, I thought they were making more. That's why I thought.
Because I like the first one. The second one's okay, and then it just went off the rails with. But I'll say this: the gore and stuff is good in those movies. They do a good.
Well, if you like,
really,
that's the kind of the problem. What you just described is the problem with the Saw series. The first one is a really masterful movie, really well done, great twist. And then 2 and 3 and 4 just keep amping up the gore. 5, 6, it becomes torture.
How can we kill? Yeah, how can we kill people?
Yeah.
What's a creative way to kill?
But to be fair, the twist in 2, I absolutely loved. I liked 2 a lot. Saw 2 was great.
Is that the one where they're trapped in the house, right?
Yeah.
That was a pretty good. You know, her character is also in Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. Well, she takes over in Saw 3. She's supposed to be the new.
Yeah.
The new what's his name? Why am I forgetting his name?
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw, yeah. But she pushes it too far because Jigsaw, he just wants to scar you. He wants to teach you a lesson from your mistake.
Yeah.
You have options to survive the trap. Where she in 3 was like, nah, I'm just killing everybody.
Yeah, there's no option to get out of this one.
I'm just blowing everybody's face off because I don't give a shit.
I love how psychopaths do that too, where they're like
Shout out to Kleinbauer. The first time I met Kleinbauer in class together in community college, the first movie we saw in Halloween was Saw 4. And then every year we kept going to the next one.
Yeah, those movies are like they're like the horror version of Fast and Furious to me. They're not good
in a lot of ways. Yeah.
They're not good movies, but they're fun. They're fun movies where if you're
the first one's really
no, I will agree with that.
The first one's not super gory either. It just has a really good twist at that.
Yeah, the first Saw is masterful, man. The guy laying there the whole time. When you see that, you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
That was
well, it also tests you like under pressure. Like, what would you do when you like?
Yeah. Would you saw off your leg off?
Freaking out.
Yeah. Saw 1. I'll still go back and watch that movie every once in a while. I like that one.
I'm disappointed because they're not on Netflix this year, and I like watching them again.
Well, you just missed out on Scream 4. They pulled it 2 weeks ago.
Yes, I know for sure because Steve and I were talking about it because we all watched Scream. Shout out to the Scream team, Jake, Mia, Steve. We all watched Scream 3 together, and it was horrible.
Yeah, it's by far the worst one, but they just pulled Scream 4 because I think 4 and 1 were 4 was the only one on there for a long time, like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
And then they added like 1 and 2 and 3, but what's another series that is?
I got one. If you need a break,
go for it, man.
I want to talk about the remake of The Thing from Another Planet, and it had a great video game too. It was called John Carpenter's The Thing. And the PS2 video game was a sequel to the movie, or a continuation after the movie. Kind of like Ghostbusters 2009 remaster that we were just playing. Where Ghostbusters is kind of like the third movie that we always wanted.
Yeah, that's what it's considered.
But this one was actually, the game is actually a direct, I remember in like freshman year in high school and middle school, we were talking about that game and how scary and how awesome it was. But the movie still holds up today. The effects of the John Carpenter's remake of The Thing, absolutely amazing. And The Thing from Another Planet is a 1950 B movie that I believe Michael Myers watches in Halloween. It's always that movie in the background. That's the movie. That's The Thing. in the background, and Michael Myers does his little head tilt when he watches some of that. But
The thing
absolutely amazing
is,
effects,
holds
great
up.
gore effects, great concept. These guys trapped in Alaska, and this alien being is parasitic and it possesses people. And now you got to figure out who's who.
And
Really
you
well
don't.
done. The gore effects to this day still hold up. The video game on PS2, if you can find it, it's like $5. Pick it up. Really great game. Pretty much
And it's
RE,
an.
pretty much Resident Evil in a lot of ways, but it's really well done. Very scary game.
And it's an open ended story.
Yeah.
Like, because the ending, you you don't really truly know who is the thing.
Yeah, it's well done. It's really well
It's a
done
very
horror movie. Another one I want to talk about really quick before I give it back to you is American Werewolf in Paris or London. It's London.
which one is it? The
The
one
first
with
one, the awesome one,
I
not the
I
new one.
don't
The new one's
I
terrible.
don't know the original one. I've always seen the one with Tom Everett Scott, the
Yeah,
guy
well, it's
from
like the
that thing.
'70s one or '80s one or whatever.
Yeah,
Really great
yeah. I know.
horror effects. Tom Savini did the horror effects on that with the elongated snout of the werewolf and everything. Really has some comedy in it because he kills his buddy on accident, but you see his buddy haunt him throughout the movie. Really well done movie. Do not watch the quote unquote sequel to the movie that they did in like the '90s. Not as good. It's very very lame. I think that's American Werewolf in Paris. I think the second one. The first one, American Werewolf in London. Absolutely classic. Instant classic horror movie. Go check it out. I don't think it's on Netflix. It might be on Hulu, but it's a really fun one.
You got the Night of the Living Dead and
All those zombies. Yeah, there's a lot of great zombie ones.
the Romero that opening, that his first movie in this, that was awesome. It's a great movie. What other series do I? You got the Child Play series as well.
That, as a little kid, Chucky used to freak me out so much as a little kid. My parents would tease me all the time, and they would just laugh and laugh. And they still try to do it today. My dad, when we went to, I forgot what movie we went to, and they had the Child's Play poster, he's like, oh, it's Chucky. I'm like, Dad, I'm like 31. I'm not scared of Chucky anymore. And then he made me take that photo with it. Like, he wanted me to take the photo with it. Like, I'm not afraid of Chucky. Like, it's like, I was as a kid. And I saw the most recent, not the remake, but the most recent one that they had on Netflix last year.
Oh yeah, the
Cult of Chucky or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's okay. It's weird because that series is still alive, but yet they're doing this other series as well, or TV series or something.
The Cult of Chucky is better, like Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky. All that shit is terrible, but the Cult of Chucky kind of took it a little bit back.
More serious in some way, sorta. I mean, it's a serial killer trapped in a doll. I mean, you can, like, the original one, really good one. The original Child's Play, really well done. And
I was never afraid of Chucky because I was just fucking.
Yeah, you just kick him, right? Punt him.
Yeah. I never was. That one never scared me.
It did. But I know. I don't know. There's the thing coming alive.
He's creepy looking for sure, but never.
And then they turned him into a robot in the remake, right? You saw the remake?
I haven't seen it, no, but
or reboot. I'm a big fan. I'm sorry, reboot.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, she's in that one.
But, yeah, she plays the mom. But they kind of made it more modern. It's a technology takes it over and shit, but yeah,
the Wi-Fi goes bad.
Yeah, the bad Wi-Fi.
The bad Wi-Fi takes over.
Well, I never really watched it, but I know you have, so I'd like for you to talk about it. But is Ash versus the Evil Dead? Absolutely
a phenomenal series. I'm a big fan of the Evil Dead series. If you guys don't know, it takes place in Michigan, and the Canada, they have like Michigan State jerseys and Wolverine stuff, but it's usually Michigan State because Sam Raimi is from Michigan, and I think he's a big Michigan. He has his brothers in him as well. The Evil Dead series, even the newer one from 2009.
I'm not gonna fact check you.
The reboot, the remake one, absolutely amazing. It's kind of like a semi-continuation. It does have Bruce Campbell, and then Bruce Campbell's a a producer and stuff, but it has that feel of that, and the effects are amazing. The first one still holds up, but I would recommend watching Ash vs. the Evil Dead on Netflix. They do a great recap. There's 3 seasons. They continued it for a fourth one, but they're not going to do a fourth one. I wish Netflix would have picked it up for a fourth one. We're sometime in Mortal Kombat next year. We'll get Ashley Williams for Mortal Kombat sometime. And he's also in Dead by Daylight. Ashley J. Williams. But absolutely, if you like horror, good horror, but funny as well, because it has funny. It's a campy movie. There's some funny, like, he has a chainsaw hand and he's hacking up demons and shit. Like, it's funny. But the original movie wasn't like that. The original movie was just pretty much a survival horror. These kids are in the woods in Michigan in a cabin hanging out, and they accidentally read the Necronomicon, and demons start possessing people, and it's just survival of the fittest, my man. And it's really really well done. The effects hold up to a degree. It is an older movie, the original, but 2 is kind of ironically kind of like a retelling of the first movie, but with better money. They had more money and they could better budget and stuff like that. And then Army of Darkness takes it way to the comedy side. This is my boomstick. That famous line where he gets trapped in time or whatever. It's really well done. Really, I enjoy it, but it's not as scary as the previous first one too. This one, Ash vs. the Evil Dead, has a nice balance of both. It has a nice balance of horror, and it has a nice balance of comedy. Lucy Lawless, Xena's in it as well. Really well casted, really well done. The effects are great. The gore is great. The campiness is great. I mean, blood is spilled in every episode. Like, everybody's drenched in blood in every episode. Absolutely, Evil Dead's one of my favorite series. I just don't want to be biased because JJ and I are from Michigan and we love Michigan State and shit like that. But it's well made series. I love Sam Raimi. He did a great job in the Spider-Man movies besides 3. I still believe 1 and 2 hold up to this day. I really like 1 and 2 a lot still. But I really enjoy Ash vs. the Evil Dead. If you got Netflix, go check it out, man. It's a really fun series. 30 minutes each, so it's not one of those long Stranger Things or any Netflix original show where you're watching for an hour. Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, where it's like hour plus you're watching sometimes. It's 30 minutes. It gets to the point, except for the pilot episode, which is about 40 minutes. But really well done. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Really, really fun series. Absolutely love Ash vs. the Evil Dead.
So, pretty much covered.
We covered comedy. We covered
most of the heavy hitters, right? Well, you got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, well, they just put the original back on Netflix,
which I think is the only good one.
The newer one, the one with Jessica Biel and the prequel to that or the sequel to it or whatever.
Yeah.
Wasn't very good. It was. Yeah, I mean, the gore was great, but
the original is the. Well, it's based off of sort of based off of Ed Gein.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Serial killer from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never really got into that series either. I know I've seen the first one.
That series isn't very long. There's not very many movies.
The first, I think there's 5 of them.
Yeah, that's about it.
But yeah,
Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, it doesn't end.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they tried to kill Jason, and Jason came back alive.
Space. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Okay. I remember going to the theater to see Jason 10.
Did it, Jason X?
Yeah. Freddy versus Jason. I remember to see that.
I saw that in theaters, and it was awesome. I loved it. Everybody.
I like that movie. I'm not gonna.
I'm so disappointed we haven't had a sequel to that movie.
I'm disappointed there's not more of that type of genre.
Versus movies, yeah.
Where you just get more, like
Michael Myers versus Pinhead, like that.
Yeah, I want Chucky versus Annabelle.
Yeah. Annabelle ain't gonna do much. She's just gonna kind of sit there.
Yeah, those are. I remember. Do you remember watching the original Blair Witch?
Yeah,
where
it
they
started the shaky cam.
they marketed it. Well, it was the first like found footage movie, so
Yeah, like it was real.
they marketed it as if it was real. You know, they had a whole online. You know, the internet was kind of just starting to be a
Yeah. There was a lot of
uh,
rumors about the Blair Witch being real,
yeah.
and yeah,
That movie was fucking creepy too. That movie scared me.
yeah. It doesn't hold up today, in my
No,
personal opinion. It's
I
like
doubt it. I haven't seen it since the first time I seen it because I was
that
terrified.
movie's definitely a product of its time.
Mm-hmm.
I will. This
Those
next one I want to talk about is the same thing because they did the same exact shit you just said, and that's Paranormal Activity, the original one.
yes.
Yeah, I
That
remember
movie
being
is
in college and everybody in the class was like, "Dude, I just saw that movie. It's real." I'm like, "Dude, I don't think it's real." And they're like, "No, it's real, man.
no.
Paranormal
There's
Activity's real, bro."
there's too much editing.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
but
it's heavily edited.
it's really well done. The first one is really well done. Like it's smaller
So
budget.
what have we noticed about horror movies, ladies and gentlemen? Is
Sequelitis.
the first one is always really good. I mean, that's why they get a second and a third and a
It's
fifth
very
and a
rare. It's very rare. I mean, you can argue Alien 1 and Aliens, you can argue that one.
Alien is Alien and Aliens are great movies. Those
Yeah,
are
like you could
and those
argue
are
which one is which, like
yeah
which one's
those are
better. I personally like the original one better because it's more of a horror movie. The second one's more of an action movie.
because like going back to the Friday the 13th series, yeah, Jason is the icon. First one I think is better. You know, that twist is just
Yeah.
it
Oh, you
being
don't
his
like
mother.
Jason Goes to Manhattan, bro? That one
That's like
isn't
the
very good. It's not super.
if you want a good very campy dumb fun movie is Leprechaun Goes to the Hood.
The Leprechaun series is actually pretty good. Yeah, I like they're very
It's,
fun. They're really dumb
it's except for
movies.
when
The first one
WWE took
holds
over.
up to this day, and they did a
With a
last
young
year or
Jennifer
2 years ago. They
Aniston.
did a continuation on Sci-Fi movie or whatever.
Did they? I know WWE took over and Hornswoggle played.
Well, they did
Like,
that one and that one.
yeah,
Yeah, like don't watch
was,
that one. I don't watch that one. The See No Evil movies with Kane are actually pretty decent. Go check those
are
ones
they?
out.
I've never seen the See No Evil.
I haven't seen them either, but I heard they're pretty good. I heard everyone told me that has seen them said they're really good.
But that's the Leprechaun movies are fucking cheesy
It's
and
super
fun.
funny. That's another one that's kind of about comedy and stuff. A little man.
And also go back. A lot of your favorite actors were in original horror movies.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
They started out in horror movies.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston, Kevin Bacon was in
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's one of the kills. Is that kill that you talked about? The waterbed kill? That's Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
That's Johnny Depp. That's young ass Johnny Depp. Yeah, he old. He old.
Yeah, he is old. He's been in a lot of strange movies. He's a weirdo.
He's a very character actor for sure. A lot of movies, yeah. He likes the Willy Wonka and the what's that one? Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter. He gets Captain Jack Sparrow. Drunk pirate.
He did the what is the name of that movie? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Where he played Hunter S. Thompson or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's another horror genre. What is the horror like in anime? You talked about anime earlier. I don't
there's
know
some
much.
really good ones. The best one I would point at is Hellsing Ultimate or probably Berserk. Berserk starts out pretty medieval though. It doesn't really get supernatural till later on. But Hellsing Ultimate is really a well done horror-esque anime about vampires and the ultimate vampire works for the humans and kills all these not German Nazis and stuff like that. It's really, if you have Funimation and you have the Funimation app and you're subscribed to it, go check it out. Hellsing Ultimate. It's 10. They're pretty long, but some of the best anime. There's I wouldn't consider Attack on Titan really a horror anime. Tokyo Ghoul, really well done. Season 1, very much about these ghouls that actually live with humans and they eat humans and stuff like that. And you don't know who's a ghoul and what's not. They did a live action movie to it. That's pretty okay. It's pretty okay. Ghouls, Tokyo Ghoul is another one. Season 2, kind of don't watch season 2. Season 3, yes, go watch season 1, then watch season 3.
Season 1, skip it. Season 3.
2 doesn't really add anything, and it doesn't follow the manga anymore, and they kind of just went off the rails, and it's not. It's well done. There's some other supernatural ones called like Another, which is kind of like a murder mystery, and all these kids keep dying. It's kind of like Final Destination, and they're figuring out like why these kids keep dying. But it actually turns out being like a ghost haunting them, and you got to find out which ones to go. So it's a lot of misdirection and a lot of anime-ness tropes. They have a lot of anime tropes in the sense that in the middle of a season, there's a beach special, like there's a bikini special. They all go to the beach, and of course somebody dies at the beach in their bikini, obviously. But a lot of animes do that. They do like a. All right, there's some serious shit going on, but let's go to the beach.
Hey guys, let's go to the beach.
Let's go. We gotta get these anime girls in their swimsuit for some fan service.
I gotta see some titties.
Like very much just like this, which we just played on stream a couple days ago. Oni Chanbara Bikini Zombie Slayers, baby. If you're talking about some waifus with some jiggle physics, this is what you want to play.
Jesus Christ.
Which you guys saw on stream, and it's really fun, man. It's
I gotta go back and watch that.
Yeah, it's a couple days ago. It's I'm still playing it. Like it's Oni Chanbara is a hilariously funny series where chicks with swords and bikinis hack up zombies, and they need the zombies' blood to keep going or whatever. Like it kills them
what
or some
the
shit.
Fuck?
Like I don't know. Like you don't pay attention to the story of that game.
The Japanese are crazy.
Yeah, it's this one comes with the banana split limited edition where they wear fruit for.
Oh my.
And if you think I'm joking, great. Yeah, I am not fucking joking.
You give me anything if it's made by a Japanese company,
they go for it, man. And
they give zero fucks.
I know we're laughing and shit, but it's actually a really fun game. Plays a lot like Dynasty Warriors. A lot of enemies to kill. You hack them up.
Dynasty?
A lot of quick time events. A good old fashioned hack and slash. I miss these games. Devil May Cry still around, so I'm not totally sad.
I'm still waiting for my Ninja Turtle game. So one type of thing we didn't touch. You mentioned it was the vampires.
Yeah, we didn't talk. There's a lot of great vampire movies.
Vampire movies, man.
Twilight's a great series.
Love Twilight. I love when vampires got sexy.
That's our new Batman, by the way, guys. Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, you remember Interview with the Vampire? I think that's when vampires started being sex.
Yeah, right.
Like, where Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, they were way too metrosexual in that.
Kirsten Dunst.
What was that one?
What is my favorite vampire movie? Was it Dracula
2000?
I don't know.
There's some really crazy ass ones. I think Blade's probably one of the better.
Blade is
probably one of the better vampire movies out there, I would say.
Yes. That is one of
the first Blade still holds up pretty well, I would say.
Dude, that movie is fucking dope. And I personally, no one else disagrees with me in the whole entire world. I love 3.
Well, because Triple H is in it. And he says, suck my dick.
No. Ryan Reynolds is in it.
He's also in it, yes.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. I will go to the end of the world to watch Ryan Reynolds.
They're going to come full circle because Deadpool and Blade are going to have a movie together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it's happening.
That's, what is it? Ryan Reynolds is also in the Amityville Horror remake or reboot or whatever the fuck that was. Yeah, he plays the dad. I listened to a whole podcast on the Amityville Horror. I didn't realize it was the whole thing.
Some of the better, like the Dracula movie, Bram Stoker's Dracula, I think it was 19...
Uh-oh, Levi.
Huh?
Uh-oh. Your best friend's about to score a touchdown.
What happened?
Andy Isabella just scored a touchdown.
About time. They don't use him enough, man.
Like a 90-yarder.
How bad are they getting beat, the Cardinals?
If they make the extra point, it's going to be 24-28.
Oh, wow, it's actually close.
4:53 left. He just threw an 88-yard touchdown to Andy Isabella.
Damn, man. We should have...
But anyway.
We should have got Melvin Gordon, but it's all right.
Anyway, back to vampires.
What was this? Bram Stoker's Dracula
Yeah.
I think that's one of the better ones. The remake they did in the 1990s, I think it was, right? Like 95 or something.
Yeah. I can
92.
name a
Maybe
bunch.
it might
I
be
can name
early. It
a.
might be
I
92.
can name a bunch of horrible ones. There's
Yeah, and
Van
there's still
Helsing.
no good Dracula movies to this day. One that I think is slept on is with Hugh Jackman is Van Helsing. I like that one a lot.
I just said that was a horrible. That it's a
Yeah,
terrible
you said
movie,
that
but
was horrible. Yeah, you didn't like that one.
yeah, but it's not that I don't like it. I understand, but I like fun movies. I like
It's
that
not. You're
movie.
right. It's not really horror. It has like all these horror icons in it, like
Yeah,
Frankenstein and the werewolf and Dracula, but it's kind of over the
it's
top.
it's boring is what happens. I want it's like a 2.5 hour movie and it just takes too long. Like I like fun movies. Like what's that one with? Isn't there one with Eddie Murphy? Like Vampire in Brooklyn or something like that.
I think so. Like vampires,
Nah,
I'm
that's
more
more
of
of a comedy.
I'm more of a zombie guy. I wasn't really
Yeah,
into vampires as much.
yeah.
There are some good ones though. I think that Bram Stoker, like Hellsing Ultimate, like the animated stuff, that they done vampires right in that one. The vampires are fucking
Yeah.
awesome in that.
Well, again, as long as the scary horror genre is just got to be fun.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
it's
here's a funny dumb one I watched that I absolutely love, and Steve always rolls his eyes, but I know he loved it too when we watched it together. And that is Zombievers.
that's what I was about to say. I've never seen it. I saw it on there, and I was gonna watch it. How is that?
It on there now?
It was probably fucking like 2 years ago. But
Yeah, because they took it off and it made me sad because I wanted to rewatch it again. Maybe they put it back on, but
Zombievers.
You gotta accept some things in life, kids. You just gotta accept what it is. It is a funny horror movie, campy B horror movie. It has boobies in it. It has zombie beavers that bite and kill people that turn those people into beavers. Like and it's just fun. It's just fun from beginning to end. It has great acting, some great stuff. It's just a funny exploitation film. It doesn't need to be super serious. It's just a funny, these kids go to this cabin and zombievers take over, bro, because of pollution or radioactivity or something.
It's the one movie genre where people will accept the B tier, the B movie is basically all just horror. You're not gonna watch a B movie, a superhero movie. You're not gonna accept it. This is a terrible movie. This is bullshit. But horror, man, as long as it, like you said, as long as it's fun and you accept it for what it, Zombievers, man. It's called Zombievers.
It's the same thing with video games too. Like some video games, like you just gotta accept that this is not gonna have a deep story. You're just gonna have some fun. You're just gonna hack shit up, and there's gonna be blood everywhere.
What's that other one? Chainsaw Lollipop or whatever.
Lollipop Chainsaw. Shut up. That was a deep story about love. Damn it. All right.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious to me.
If you want a really good horror movie, this one is not on Netflix anymore, but it's called It Follows. Really well done.
I've heard of that.
It is a really well done. So basically, you have sex with somebody and you pass on that disease or that ghost or whatever, and you have like 3 days to live or like 24 hours to live. And this thing, the way they shoot it's really well done. And it's just always coming forward to you, and every shot in the movie is really well done. You just see this thing like stalking. It's really a great horror movie, really well done. And pretty messed up to lie to somebody while you're banging them. Oh, hey, by the way, there's going to be an evil entity that's going to kill you. But I think it was made to scare kids from having sex, probably. But it's actually a really good movie. Go check out It Follows. I don't know if it's on Hulu or anything like that. Another campy one that you just got to accept that is stupid as hell is Wolf Cop. You got Wolf Cop is absolutely amazing. All right, a werewolf as a cop. It's like Teen Wolf but grown up. All right, it's really well done. Again, it's not the most amazing movie. I mean, it's pretty. There's a lot of shitty parts in it, but it's funny. But it has all those tropes. It has, big booby lady. Like, campiness, like B tier quality. They have a whole series. I think they have like Wolf Cop versus the Gingerbread Man or something. Like, it's funny. These were on Hulu. I don't think they're on Hulu anymore, but they were on Hulu. It's really funny.
I know they put a lot of those back on during the
Halloween, yeah.
during the Halloween stuff. Yeah, that's
But Wolf
awesome.
Cop, Zombievers, there's some fun, like there's some really funny B horror tier movies. I've watched a lot. Like Dale versus Tucker, really well done B horror movie. Just a,
Yeah.
a different perspective on horror comedy. These guys look like killers, but they're not. They're just normal dudes just trying to live life.
Shaun of the Shaun,
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead, I think, is the
Oh
good.
yes, that's a great one.
I
Shaun of
don't
the
know if it's
Dead.
exactly horror, but it's a
No, it is.
zombie
I would
movie.
say it's horror comedy. That's a really
What's the
good
other one?
one. I
Yeah,
like Hot
that
Fuzz
one.
better. It's not a
I
horror
love
movie,
that
but I
movie.
like Hot Fuzz better.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz is kind of in, but it's a trilogy. So I think
Sorta. I mean, at
it
World's
doesn't.
End, yeah.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't really have the typical horror tropes, but it's kind of a horror movie. A whole city or a whole town going against the
Yeah,
the cops
honestly
are
true
hiding.
because it's a murder. Murders are going on in this town.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. What is another? What's the one me and Becky watched the other day? It's on Netflix. It's got a really hot blonde. She's the babysitter.
The
I think is what it's
Babysitter. I
called.
watched that one. Yeah, I watched that one. I like that
the
one.
really hot blonde, where she's
Yeah.
like the leader of this
Cult. Yeah.
cult thing where they got to kill. It's got Arrow's little brothers in it.
I don't watch Arrow, so I don't know, but it's actually pretty fun. Like JJ said, it feeds on that babysitter trope where you fall in love with the hot baby sitter, but she's a cultist.
Shirt on, the kid's like, that's cool.
You froze again there, buddy. You there? That is a perfect expression right there, guys. That's perfect. You there, JJ? Hello? Because we can start wrapping up. Let's see if he hops back in really quick. He probably will. There he is. There he is.
What up, girl? I don't know what's going on.
It's alright. It's probably just the interwebs. It's all good. We can wrap it up. I mean, we've been talking for a while. Was there any other last minute game, horror movie you want to talk about? Some of your favorite memories? We talked about a lot of our favorite memories, like some of this. JJ's talking about how he went to the movies with Scream 2 and stuff like that. It was funny.
Yeah, that still is one of my best. I was super sick. I just got some new. I thought they were Barry Sanders shoes, but they ended up not being Barry Sanders shoes. So I got those for $110 pair of Reebok shoes for my birthday. And then we went to that movie and I had a migraine headache. I remember sitting third row up. Mom and Haley had to sit somewhere else. And the guy dressed up like Ghostface worked at the theater in Marinette and sat right next to Haley. And she freaked out. It was awesome.
Well, honestly, so because that movie has the exact same scene that you just
yes,
described.
Exactly. Yeah, I would have freaked out too. So
yeah,
I don't blame her. But yeah, that one was fun. I remember going to see Jason X in theater. I remember Freddy and first Jason in theater.
I watched that one in theater. That's fun. The new It movies were really fun in theater.
I didn't watch either of those.
Was crazy. It one was, in my opinion, Chapter 1 was better than Chapter 2, but
because they took out the teenage kid sex orgy, right?
Yeah, it's a bummer. The orgy's gone. The orgy wasn't in the TV movie either. If you guys watched.
No.
If you want an orgy,
what
though,
Stephen King wanted.
If you want an orgy, guys, it's a blood orgy.
There you go.
Orgy. I'm trying to remember. Is there any last game I missed? Because I've done this before, and I've talked about so many horror games.
And don't forget to download.
Download what?
Well, what is we're talking about the Outlast series.
Yeah, Outlast.
Don't forget to download Outlast 2 on Tuesday.
What
did we?
Death Stranding on
what else we do?
really soon, guys.
You got the
We
Well,
talked
the
Bloodborne.
Silent
I
Hill
guess we
series.
could talk Dark Souls. Dark Souls is kind of in the same vein as Bloodborne. I wouldn't say Sekiro is a horror game. It's more of
No,
a
that's. But
Feudal
the
Japan.
Silent Hill series really they took advantage of when video games used to have that fog.
Yeah,
You know,
the Silent Hill, the original Silent Hill series was really good. Personally, everyone says 2 is the best, and they're probably right. But I really like 3 a lot. I really like the story of 3.
Do you remember playing House of the Dead? Where
Yeah, of course, man.
you get the gun controllers. Me and Jacob
Light
would play
gun,
that all day.
baby. Light gun, baby.
Yeah. And then they had what? We had to type the word. They made like a PC version.
Oh, for Dreamcast. Yeah, Dreamcast. They had a keyboard.
Yeah.
That you could typing of the dead or whatever, and you just.
Yeah.
That was really well done. I'm trying to remember. Was there any other horror memories, horror favorites I missed? We talked Resident Evil, Last of Us, Evil Within, Bloodborne, Outlast, Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th. We covered a lot. You know, we just talked Silent Hill a little bit. We will be doing. We will be covering Death Stranding on this channel. It's coming out next week.
Friday, man.
Spooktober might be over, but we'll still play some spooky games. We'll finish up RE5 and 6, RE2 remake. I wanted to play tonight, but this will count as the stream tonight. I'm gonna hit the A early. I should have streamed it earlier today because it is still holds up really well, and it's definitely it's definitely my game of the year. But I also think truly it is the favorite to win game of the year this year. Out of all the competition.
I'm anxious to see the nominees.
Yeah, it's really going to be fun. We had a great discussion about it on Borderlands 3 Spoiler Cast. And I apologize to Tim. I need to turn Tim up a little bit because I didn't hear him a lot of the time he was talking. He asked a few good questions there. But we're going to wrangle the troops back together. I hope you guys had a happy Halloween. We're gonna wrangle the troops back together for the Game of the Year nominees. We're interested to see it. We'll probably do another podcast pretty soon because there was a lot of gaming news that dropped that we didn't talk about. This was just some of JJ was just my guest this year for the Halloween special. We talked Stranger Things, American Werewolf in London, so many of our favorite horror memories, some silly ones like Zombievers and Wolf Cop that I like to bring up. Shout out to Night Phase last year. He was my guest last year. The year before that, I think Chad, we did our second anime show on Halloween. So it wasn't really a Halloween special. It was technically my second annual Halloween special. But we talked a lot of different stuff. Shout out to my cousin JJ. I apologize that I guess the internet kept going in and out for him, but it happens. Mistakes happen, guys. Don't worry. But we're going to wrangle everybody back together. As soon as the Game of the Year nominees hit, I'm excited. We're going to discuss it, and I think I'm going to be right. I don't think Borderlands 3 is going to be on that list for Game of the Year. It might be nominated for some other stuff. But I personally said Chad, JJ, and a few others of like the top 100 listed games this year, and Borderlands 3 was not on that list. So I'm interested to see.
I'll say this to your list, though. A lot of those games were on there 6
Well, obviously, you got to get rid of the ports and the rehashes and stuff like that. But the top 2 rated, this is all I'm going to say about Game of the Year. The top 2 highest rated games, RE2 Remake and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. If they are not nominated, that is a problem, in my opinion. They are the best 2 rated games this year. They don't have to win it, but they should be nominated. They are the best 2 rated games this year.
If I were to put my money on it today, I would say Sekiro wins it.
All right.
But I want RE2
a few weeks ago, a few podcasts ago, JJ
put my money on it
RE2.
today, Sekiro wins it.
Okay. JJ's predicting Sekiro. But a few podcasts
ago, I want RE2 to win it.
He said
I
RE2
really,
was
truly do.
So, we'll bring everybody back. Thanks to JJ. Thanks for helping me out. We talked horror. What are your horror favorites?
It's flippy floppy.
Games, anime, TV.
I don't know.
Tell us down below. Your fellow
no problem,
in the
buddy.
GG. JJ, we're outie.